There we go. Better. Hello, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Welcome to this extra special off-hours Hazel stream. We're starting at 1 o'clock instead of 9 because I had people here this morning. Hello. Oops. Yeah, I don't know why that happens, but I'm glad that I keep an eye on it now. I check to make sure that my mic is actually lighting up when I start the stream, just because every now and then it decides to change its settings independently of all of the winds of the universe. There's a link to the song somewhere. Let me see if I can remember the command for it. Is my stream pod on? Let me see. No, it's not, is it? Well, that's a problem too. I wonder why everything turned off today. Anyways, thank you for finding me at this tower. We are here to relax, to connect with each other, and to hang out and give me, help me feel less alone on the planet as I throw my worthless, broken corpse against Ky'veza for, 3 hours or until she dies, whichever comes first. So my cloud mod is on. Let's turn it off and back on again. That's usually how we fix most things. Last time I checked out the stream, you were bald! I was bald. And maybe bald again in the future, you never know. Let me try this again. There we go. So now was it the first command? It was the first command! At least you're trying. I didn't even bother trying to fight her. She's mean. She's a ruthless and unfeeling mistress. But we are getting better. It is coming along. I was gonna mess around with another, I was gonna take off Hatterang and I was gonna try out something else in that slot, the one that summons the image of Bran, because my logic being, A, it's something I haven't tried, so it's worth messing around with, and then secondly, I'm just seeing if I can scoot my chair in without running over my cat here. Hi, sweetie, she's just hanging out on the floor. My other reason is that Hatterang debuffs multiple enemies at a time, and I don't know if it's tuned in such a way that it's a good idea for single target, basically. So I'm sure it's not a bad idea, especially because it does have an effect where it makes things hit you less hard, which I would appreciate, but I need damage. Basically where I'm at now is just trying to get more consistent. I know I can do all the mechanics correctly. I just need to practice it to get them more consistent, and then practice them to get to the point where I can do more damage while also keeping up with the mechanics. That's the real kicker, because otherwise I'm going to be doing it for like 10 phases, and eventually her white damage will kill me. So supplies, we're doing Aegis. We're resetting it every time. And then I wanted to try Nether Overlay Matrix, just for fun. Some people use this. During combat, Bran has a chance to manifest a 60% weaker ethereal copy of himself to fight by your side for a minute. And that's instead of Hatterang, which is him debuffing 2 debuffs to 5 targets. So given that there's only 1 target, I wonder if maybe this one will do us more good. We'll see. Worth a try. I'm gonna wing it anyway. Kessikins, thank you very much for the 29-month resub. Are you all done with your The War Within goals yet? I think this is the last big one. I want to get this. No, there's a few actually. I want to get this done. I want to kill Ky'veza solo on hard mode. I want to finish getting everything from Legion Remix. And once they patch the housing stuff into it, I may have some extra achievements to hunt too, on top of just bronze to farm in the final phase. That's next week is the final phase of Remix, so I'm gonna get back into that then. And then the third thing I really want to do is this. I want to finish Chetmate. I am 79 out of 100 Chet lists. I've started doing a lot more of them. I might even do a few more this week. I've got another 4 or 5 80s I haven't run on yet. So I'm trying to squeeze those in whenever I can because I'm very motivated. I forgot the color. I know that doing this gives you a part-timer title, which is cool. And it allows you to buy for resonance crystals a jetpack back piece, which we have in other colors. And I realized recently the color you get for doing Chetmate is green. I thought it was gold. It's not. It's green. You get a green jetpack. So I'm going to have to come up with a mog for that when I get it. Because otherwise, what was the point? I'm putting off the Chet thing. Only achieve left in the War Within. It is not a very commonly received achievement, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Let's wing this a few times. Let me get... Well, I'll food buff next time, to be honest. We just kind of got to get back into this and remember where we were. How you doing, Truly Stubborn? Yeah, I like the idea of finishing this, partly because I just want to finish it, but partly because I know not many people did, which makes me want to do it more. I'm easy to manipulate like that.
Stay away from lines.
Is it just me or does that look different from yesterday? Wouldn't it be funny if those hotfixes we were talking about didn't go into place until today? Anyway, we'll get back to this one.
Spirit incoming.
Oh, there was one more. Oopsies. Been putting off the chat thing. Nice. Yeah. Hi, Legnaros. Hope you're having a good day. Here, let's get a real food buff. This is my last Hardy Beldar's bounty. Although, compared to the burden of repair costs, I don't think the food is what's really going to make me broke here. How's you guys' day going? What's your weather like? We have rain. It is wet outside. I was standing outside. It was very on theme for the topic of the day, which is drainage. I was standing outside talking to the plumbers that we got out to kind of look at things getting rained on, and I was thinking, well, this is all very on theme. This is cute. At least they understand our problem. I was able to point to exactly where it comes into the house in the basement. It's like, do you have water? Do you notice water? Is there any water in your crawl space? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, how much? Lots. So that was fun. It felt validating to show somebody my swimming pool. We're doing cheese. Yeah, we still got some of these floods in England. I do live in a rainforest. I do. Lots of people do. I'm a nice combo of living in a rainforest in a very old house that hasn't really been updated and arguably wasn't thought through that well in the first place. But it doesn't sound like it's going to be ruinous to sort it out, so we'll get something set up. Hopefully when we do, the work takes place outside in a way that I'm able to keep streaming and not have to cancel some bunch of streams like last time. Yeah, it's the coniferous rainforest. Temperate rainforest, not to be confused with tropical rainforest, which sounds much nicer.
Stay away from lines.
That's cool, Tweety birds.
Pulling in. Spirit coming. Stay away from lines.
Not quite. Take us a few runs to get back into the swing of things. I was using this. This doesn't count really fast wipes, but we were checking on this to see how many wipes we had, and I have 63 wipes that are not fast. Can't speak for the amount of them that went quickly. Also, I need to remember to toggle off my battered Aegis and then toggle it back on. On the prairies, having a nice-ish fall day. Had the first real snow last week, but it warmed back up and disappeared. Fall has been mild in Saskatchewan so far. Nice. It's always nice when the weather doesn't, like, completely shock you, so you can actually get outside and do some fall things, wear some cute scarves, and hike through some trails with, like, lots of leaves on them and stuff. Hey, Hazel. Hi, Haley. Happy Thursday. Look at me remembering to toggle this off and back on. Best percent. Ooh, we had a 13 yesterday. The last pull of the day yesterday was a 13.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
But it was only one. Usually my best pulls are like 50 something. But it can be done. That's the takeaway.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
SoCal Fall just went up to 90s this week. Ooh, that's bad in the other direction. 55 Fahrenheit, sunny in Ohio, but there was snow on Sunday, Monday. A bunch of people got snowed on recently. fascinating. I mean, I guess it's not that early. It is November. Fall's kind of I was talking with my partner this morning. I was thinking about the season in terms of eras of problems that we're dealing with in our house. Like when we first moved in, and it was hot, and then we had that for a couple of weeks, and then we got COVID, and then or something like it. And then we were really sick for a couple of weeks, and then we were cold, and then it started flooding. So as soon as it feels like it's levels, you know, video game levels, you get through the boss. You find the right professional, you get the work scheduled and done and paid for, and then you get the then you hope that you keep up with that before the next problem happens so that they don't start compounding. We haven't had any power outages yet, but I feel like they're coming. 70 Fahrenheit today, been in the 50s. Next week we drop into the 40s with snow. Oh.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
I think it's going to take me like 30 minutes to warm back up to
Spirit
just where I was
incoming.
last time.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
But that's okay. We've got time. And nothing says that we have to kill it today. It would be nice, but we've got all the time in the world.
Spirit incoming.
All around me. I feel like your foray into house ownership has been an adventure so far. Yeah. I wonder if I was more or less prepared for it because of all of the disaster stories that my anxiety made me read about before I bought a house. I spent months on forums of like new homeowners and like homeownership maintenance and homeownership nightmares. Basically reading about every possible thing that could go wrong so my brain could kind of build like a internal anxiety risk index of like what are the most common things that surprise people and what can I do to prevent against them. Which is partially a disorder and partially just good thinking. Yay, Cracker, thank you for the 60-month resub. Appreciate it. Usually how it goes. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the time somebody will sell a house partly because they can't keep up with it anymore. I guess there's lots of reasons to sell a house, but sometimes that'll happen, and when you move into it, you realize all the things that they were not able to keep up with, and things that they had just kind of patched over to get by for a while, so... I did read the fine print in contract details. I did. This is just one of those things that can happen. I also engaged a lawyer to help read through and create the contract details and also to explain them to me.
Stay away from lines.
It's not exactly a just hand over your credit card situation. It would have been much easier. Although I probably would have bought like the wrong house 9 houses earlier if that had been the case. There's a lot of people you have to get on board.
Stay away from lines.
Oh, not quite. Best thing to hear when stuff breaks is, huh, that's weird. I'm kind of collecting a little folder in my head of all the times that I've gotten somebody in to look at something and they've been like, wow, I've never seen someone do it that way before. Impressed with your positivity. Sounds like you were mentally prepared. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a bummer, but it's my bummer, you know? I'm still kind of excited about not sharing walls with people and not having, you know, like a council telling me what kind of plants I can grow. I'm pretty excited about that. You know, the possibilities are limitless. Turn that off, turn that on. And everything we fix, it's kind of comforting in knowing that, like, yes, if something breaks, it sucks. But at least then you're not wondering when it's going to break because it's like 200 years old. You're looking at it and you're like, okay, I figured out what happened. We talked to some professionals and looked some stuff up, and I'm trying to fix things in ways that will last. You know, there's only so much you can
Stay
do.
away from lines.
But I'm doing my best anyway. I can't believe I lived that. That's wild. Let's do some stuff.
Spirit incoming.
I'm gonna have to learn how to start casting during those more. Grow poppies? It's making people high. I feel like there's a few steps between poppy and opium. I feel like you have to do something. I don't feel like you're just gonna like cause an epidemic with your garden. But I don't know an awful lot about opium, to be honest. That was a history lesson I skimmed over at school. Which is weird. I feel like all the most interesting lessons were all the super sorted ones. Just joined. Was not brave enough to try double question mark yet, but I wanted. Good luck, Hayes. Thank you. You can do it. There's no guarantee that you'll win, but we all have the right to come in here and get our butts kicked. There's nothing stopping you from doing that as much as you want. That's what I'm doing. This is not my first day in here, and I'm not very close.
Stay away from lines.
I'm gonna have to book it back in here. Oh, we got our little brain copy. That's good.
Spirit incoming.
Wrong one. I think I geared the wrong class for this. My name is a Frost DK. They're known to be slow. Maybe a DH should be better since they're fast boys. Yeah, speed helps a little bit, especially with dodging the lines. But it's not something you can't overcome with practice. I'm pretty sure you can do this just fine at regular walk speed. You just have to be really good at recognizing which direction the blades are coming from and what order they came out in, so that you can identify which way to walk and when. That's the thing. Like, if you walk away from any given node, you're going to avoid it. It's just a question of remembering which order they came through, because you can be on the line, just not when it goes off, but like, it's a lot happening very quickly. I think there's a weak aura. I don't know what it does. I'm not gonna try it. I'm being stubborn about it. Maybe DH would be better since they're fast boys. Oh, I read that one. Yeah, maybe. I say play whatever you're best at.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
Anything that can do damage while moving is, I feel like, going to do a little better here.
Spirit incoming.
Oh, I love it when they go clockwise.
Stay away from lines.
Playing a survival hunter and nothing else in Remix. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying Remix. It's nice. Have you guys been poking around with your classes on beta at all? Checking out the class changes? I did a little bit of Shadow Priest back in alpha and in the first build of it, and it was pretty cool. I like the new Shadow Crash. Tried it like 10 times, was like, okay, I'm done, I don't care enough about this. That was pretty smart. I'm kind of curious how much damage Imitation Brain is doing. Or if I'll even see him on my meter. I don't know. Maybe Imitation Brain is just healing more and is a bad idea. It does say 60% effectiveness. What if he just puts out, like, terrible little healing pots? Fight by your side. I don't know. I think I'm fixating on the wrong solutions here.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
Those are thick lines. Not sure if there's any people like that out there. Given the same scale and gear level for all DPS specs, would say Havoc. Super mobile, great self-healing, doesn't make the fight easy, just lets you react better to... yeah. Bran, not dropping a portal is surprisingly not that impactful because you can get between 2 portals just as easily as you can get between 3. Or at least I've found that to be the case. Her auto attacks do hurt me quite a bit, especially as a priest, especially when I have to face away from her to face a clone. If you had a 40 chest brain enough to position in advance so that you could not turn your back on Ky'veza and face all the clones, you could take less white damage. I'm not that smart and I never will be. So she decks me pretty good. I need the healing.
Stay away from lines.
Not quite. How many tries? Let me check for you. It was 63 tracked wipes. Really fast ones don't count, though. I would say probably over 100. Don't think I've ever had him only drop 2. Had him stand in another slice, then jump to exactly where I was standing. Oh no. When a beta access giveaway, was trying out a few classes. Starting to think, I'll just stick with Hunter. Housing is amazing. What is defined as really quick? I don't know. I just know that that number doesn't feel true. I don't know what the threshold is, and I don't know how to find out. Okay.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
But I will say, just as I did at the beginning of the stream yesterday,
Spirit incoming.
Super
Stay
happy
away
to
from
have some
lines.
company on this. Not really looking for advice at this time. I will ask. I will ask a direct question if I'm looking for answers on anything, and otherwise I'm happy for chat. We can just hang out and hang out. Want to test out old raids like Dragonflight ones especially, but they're locked right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like tuning for stuff like farming old content after a squish tends to happen late. I think they're usually pretty borked early, and they get headlines every time that they have that, because someone will be like, I tried raids on beta and they're terrible. And it's a good thing to check, because it'd be nice if they fix it before the thing comes out. But I feel like I've been down that road before. That's probably why. You can do it! Meaning Ky'veza doesn't stand a chance. I mean, she's got all day. I've got plenty of time. We're settled in. I can't really specifically say that the overlay matrix is getting me farther or less far. I need to get a little bit better at the lines. I was doing better at them yesterday.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
You're not jumping? He's not jumping. Sometimes he's jumping. They did nerf her. The only nerf to double question mark is to make it a little bit more forgiving what counts as facing her. That's the only thing they changed for double question mark. Everything else is the same. On single question mark difficulty, you have a whole extra second to face the clones. That's a pretty big deal. And you can definitely tell that you've got a little bit more wiggle room, but that's the only thing they changed. I have not tried on my druid. I don't do any damage at all on my druid. I don't think it's worth doing. My druid is also probably 40 item levels lower, and I have no idea how to play her. Ky'veza has a dentist appointment in an hour. Do you think she'll just give this to me? She's got to get out of here.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Tentacle Crash is cool. Not sure about the Shadow Word Madness. Yeah. I don't know if I remember Shadow Word Madness. Some people are upset about Tentacle Crash being limited to 6 people for dotting purposes. Why? Shadow Crash is limited to 6 people for dotting purposes. That's exactly the same. It would be weird for them to uncap it. Who knows? I guess people will just be mad about anything. Here's our repairs. I would understand if Shadow Crash was uncapped and they were capping it. That's at least a loss. I don't know.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
That same one keeps smoking me. Weird that some AoE is capped, some AoE is uncapped for different classes. I think everybody should have an AoE that is uncapped that does at least a little bit of damage, so that you can, in like an enormous cloud of insects, do something to all of them. Because it feels bad if you have to do that in batches of 6. But I don't think anybody should have uncapped damage that like scales insanely, because it just gets unfair. Hope you're having a great day. Peace and love. Thanks, Truth Wisdom. Right back at ya. Try and get settled in. This is a different time of day than what I was working on last time. I've always theorized that I have my best brain cells in the morning. Which doesn't bode well for this, but we're gonna work on it anyway. We were getting a lot closer yesterday.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
I do like spriest. It hasn't been my main since whatever was before Shadowlands. BFA. BFA was the last expansion that I mained as Shadow Priest. But I like it. I like having it handy. Outside of Delves, I only really use it for questing, though. That might be part of my problem. I think the Heronir are really cool, especially love their racials, and they have a pretty background. Not like you'll see at these warband camps. My current main is Holy Priest, so the same character, but I'm a healer main. That's what I geared up and practiced for the. That's what I play in raids and keys. Miss the days of fully uncapped AoE. Me too. Nice.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
Kind of look at here.
Spirit incoming.
You can be sloppy, you can't be that sloppy. Also, I had 2 stacks of Aegis anyway. Have you seen the H-Priest changes? I looked at them briefly when they first announced them. I was a little miffed about the redesign of Oracle because I really enjoyed Oracle healing in keys this patch, in this expansion. So to lose premonitions completely felt a little bit sad. But I will reserve judgment until I've actually played it, which probably won't be until it goes live. I will do some raid testing on beta, and I'll get a little bit of a feel for it then, but during raid testing I'm usually just focused on the new bosses, so I think I'll have a better opinion of it like once it's actually live. Me too, yeah. I was salty. I felt a little insulted. It was like, what, you don't trust me with more than 4 buttons? But I think it'll be fun.
Stay away from lions. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from
After
lions.
these daggers, we're getting an iron mission, so there's no sense in sending 900 now.
AOE incoming. Stay away from lions. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Not quite. Better. 65. They're gonna make our Cosmic Ripple Giga buffed. Our Cosmic Ripple Giga buffed, and our Flash Heals during Apotheosis make Cosmic Ripples. Oh, that's alright. Excited to try out the Apex talents. Yeah. Giga Palms. Giga Palms are alright. They feel a little lazy. I just kind of fire them out wherever and hope for the best. It reminds me of when they added a bunch of smart heals to the game, and then they went, you know what, we actually want our healers to decide things, so we're paring down smart heals. And then they went, you know what, never mind. Like, you know, pick a philosophy. I don't know. It's fine. Yeah, we were vibing a little better there. That was improving. Make sure we're zoomed out. Make sure our eyes aren't straining too much. I can always turn my streamlights off if I want to like really mood game, although it's pretty dark in here with that. I think I'm gonna stick his Hatterene back on. I don't feel like this overlay matrix is really changing my life.
Stay away from lions. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
I wouldn't blame yourself for a bad memory for not remembering all of the different changes to the various states of things they do to classes in WoW. There's like a bajillion of them, and they go back and forth all the time for no reason. I used to think that I could just pay attention and keep up, and maybe that's still true and I just stopped paying attention, but I don't know. The game's been going on for too long now, and there's been too many different patches and versions of it to keep them all straight. Any sentence can be true if you don't specify when it was. Look at his speed. I want that speed. Brand's jump for portals. Yeah.
Stay away from lines.
Oopsies. I did a boo-boo. I need to go get more food after another 30 minutes. I imagine playing this fight as Priest like playing on hard mode. A few people popped by chat and were impressed that Priest was what we were doing this on. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to play other classes, so couldn't really say. This is not normal Hazel time. It's true. It's true. I had some professionals by the house in the morning, so I wanted to push stream back so I didn't have to leave for like 45 minutes in the middle of stream. Haven't played WoW in a long time. Feeling nostalgic. Mob Classic or just Classic? No, the long question's fine. I don't really know how to help you though. I don't play either of them. I'd have to say whichever speaks to you, or if you have any friends playing either one, that's a good indicator, you know? I don't really know much about what's going on with classes.
Pulling in.
I didn't get nearly as many of my cooldowns up as I usually like to have here for a nice long void torrent.
Spirit incoming.
You gotta not just look at them, you gotta remember for your character to look at them.
Away
Sometimes
from
I'll be like,
lines.
well, I was looking at it. That seems punishing. Gotta get a little farther there. Control Alt Glenn, thank you for the 34-month resub. Forgot to resub with Prime. Good luck with the double question mark. Thank you. Thanks very much for the resub. I think Mob Classic going back to TBC. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what they're doing with Classic. I think it would be funny if they just lagged 4 expansions behind retail, but I don't think they're gonna do that. Couldn't tell ya. My brain's increasingly not big enough to hold information that's not relevant to me personally. It's selfish and a little dumb, but it is what it is.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
Ooh, that's a tough run. Just barely.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
That's hard. Would this fight be significantly easier on an LA Shaman versus a Havoc Demon Hunter? I would pick Havoc because it's melee. You're going to be able to do more damage while moving. This is a bit of a tough one for casters. Although, Shamans do something. I don't know. I can't keep straight who can cast while moving and who can only cast while moving in Remix. Data mining on a new TBC promo pack. TBC for the 3rd time. What if they just keep selling it as long as people keep buying it? They're like, there's... You know, it doesn't matter that we've done this twice. If people want it, then we gotta give the people what they want. Inspired me to go back and try fighting her again, and I just won. Your tenacity's contagious. Go get her, Hazel. Congrats, Hezzy Cat. That's amazing. Enjoy your new achievement. And your mount? And presumably a title. All that good stuff. My resub not show up? Oh, there it is. Mysterious Mind, thank you for the 5-month resub. You got this, Hazel. Thank you. It did show up. I just missed it.
Stay away from lions. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
I gotta be really hot on my feet for those lines. They're the problem for me right now. I don't think I'm giving them enough credit. I don't think I'm respecting the lines enough.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Just like that, just panic. This is the entire fight. There's the barrel game intermission, which we've seen a little bit on stream today, but not very much. But that's all the mechanics. Anniversary bundle, new recolor of the Mana Stalker and Mog, pets too. Okay. Neat. "2018 Void Elf obsessed Hazel would have loved Midnight." Maybe. Could be. Just not 25 anymore.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in.
This could be a bit tricky.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Post. I played a little bit of alpha. I haven't logged into it since beta started. I've been doing this. And then a little bit of remix. The Void Elf didn't last that long. It was basically from when they let us play them until just about the day of the actual expansion launch, when I chickened out and went back to my gnome. Heard they nerfed this, might finally be able to do it. Absolutely, get back in there. You got this. Oh. Dreading this fight, but I'll get it done one day. There's an achievement if you get it done once.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Also, main priest, thanks for the reminder. We'll try tomorrow if I don't forget. How did they nerf it? It does not require as precise of a degree of accuracy to face the clones now. They've widened the angle. They didn't say by how much, but you don't have to be facing them as perfectly as you did originally. That's the difference for double question mark. That's the only difference for this difficulty. Yeah. They're a little bit more forgiving as to when they determine that you're facing them, because before it was very precise. And now it's just pretty precise. You still have to face them, but like they're not going to punish you for being a degree off. They said significantly. They did.
Stay away from lines.
If it's not smoked, it's not good. I think that if I turned Brand's actual like dialogue voice acting on, I would make myself insane well before we get this down. It's one thing as a chat box. You can turn dialogue sound off. You go into your audio options, and there is a whole checkbox for dialogue, and you can enable or disable all of it. Or you can just turn error speech off if you just want your character to stop saying out of range. Once upon a time, I thought everybody had already done that, and then I mentioned it on stream, and a bunch of people were like, you can turn that off? And I thought, we should do like an annual public service announcement, just in case. Don't stand there. Just because, you know. It would be easy to miss, and it's a lot of years for your character to be like, I can't do that yet. I need to get closer.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
It's been taking me an extra second to react to that, and that's not a second that you have. I did not know you could turn that off, but also, I don't want to. If Brand doesn't tell you, then how will you know? Hi Alex, how you doing? Happy Thursday. Need to reset my Aegis. One of my guildies knows you can turn error speech off, plays with it anyway. I imagine for some people, they use it for its intended purpose of letting you know that, like, I don't know, you're out of rage. And that you won't until you... Someone gets useful cues out of it. It's not me. I'm just gonna spam it until I have rage, but... I am still working on chat lists. I'm at 79 out of 100. I started doing more of them recently. It's nice now because if I have capped Valor Stones on my main or any of these alts, now that we have Turbo Boost on, I'm able to buy those gearboxes, and for a lot of those alts, those gearboxes of champion gear for current season make a big difference in helping them just like do their chat list. Like if they're in season 2 or even just freshly leveled gear, a couple champion pieces helps a lot. So that's helped. I've enjoyed that.
Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Goodness. Alright, so this is the intermission.
ALE incoming. Stay away from lines. Pulling in. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
56. That's why I don't like melee characters. I need my space. Oh, when it tells me I'm out of range, it's useful in melee characters. I don't think I've ever played melee long enough to even think about that. I am item level 715. Could be better, could be worse. People were doing this when it first came out at like 680, and that's what I'm telling myself. This one's... The only time that you're gonna know that you really don't have the item level for it is if her white damage starts reliably killing you in a way that you can't prevent. Although, you don't have to do the mechanics for as long if you do bonko damage. I am doing, especially with all the moving, I'm doing 2.5 mil DPS on my last pull. It's honestly better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to say like 1.2.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Oh, I completely lost it. I blinked, I think. This is going to be just a 1 in 6 chance. I'm going for this
AOE
one.
incoming.
Nope. Maybe you need to dispersion. I promise if I'm looking for looking for help, I promise I'll ask. After a few falls, want to buy a slow motion version? This is the second difficulty. The first difficulty is much slower. Different visibility of the charges would be nice. This is about as good as I've been able to get it, with my outline mode on and on high, and then anti-aliasing off. It's about as good as it gets, I think. And then chat bubbles is nice just to help you locate the correct clone at the beginning of the thing. How dare you blink? I know I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just maybe my brain blinked. I can usually do that part, the barrel game. I can usually do that. Oh. My hands hurt. I think it's the rain. I think it's making my bones achy. Shaking out your bones.
Stay away from lines.
I don't think dispersion would necessarily
Pulling in.
save you from these. Maybe?
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Not my best work. Tanks will also get one shot. You have to do the mechanics. Chose my guild housing plot, and now I fear I'm having second thoughts. I think you just gotta pick one, and then once you're in it, the longer you're in it, the more it'll feel like home because you'll have memories built up there. I think they're all fine, and we shouldn't overthink it too much. I think picking the right, like, biome sort of section of the map is important, but I think, like, the specific plot, I wouldn't get too hung up on it. That's just me, though.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Oh, I feel like I basically had that, but clearly I did not. Hopefully you get enough subdivisions so arguing kept to a minimum. I want a mountain house because they seem unpopular and I can be a hermit. Also, spy. Doubt I'm going to spend that much time in the house. The main city will do fine. So your house will... You don't have to let other people in your house or interact with anybody else. Your house will be in a neighborhood and you will have neighbors. But you can ignore them like people ignore neighbors IRL. That's an option. I have DBM that's giving me alerts and when mechanics begin. You just can't worry too much about the repair bills. That's the real killer.
Stay away from lines.
You like my transmog? I'm wearing the peasant outfit and I've got the bakery and I've got a big soup ladle. I honestly don't think DBM is making that much of a difference here. The mechanics are pretty self-evident. And they're always in the same order, so you don't even really need timers. After pulling the fight 100 times, you kind of get a feel for what's coming next. Love the bakery. I get to wear bread.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
That was a lot of layering. That was a 37% wipe. Gotta go to sleep. Good luck, Hazel. You got this. Thank you. Yeah, a little crowded. That can happen. Those lines are probably my weakest thing. The thing that I've been practicing these last handful of pulls is just hammering out not random buttons while I'm worried about the clones, but just making sure my fingers are doing some combination of Mind Blast, Mind Flay, and occasionally Plague, just mashing them while I'm busy facing the clones so that I can get some buttons out. Also, I need to get more food. Feel the ghost can't see them. I was given some good advice on graphics settings to change that made them a bit more visible, but it is hard no matter what. Put a candle on the top of the head of my fire pet so that I can cook on him and turn this food into hearty food. Turn nameplate off, that covers the clones too. Yeah. I'm using my nameplates to track my dots. I know I can also see those on the unit frame, but I don't look there. Greetings, I have vanquished my workday. How goes the Ky'veza? Greetings, it's going alright. We're trying to adjust to afternoon energy compared to morning energy. I don't know about you, but I'm not so good in the after lunch. 1 to 5 is just struggling to be of any use to anybody. It's not my finest hours. Classic food combo. I'm not even full. It's just never mind. I got no words. I'm verbally starved. I'm loquaciously defunct. I'm not hungry. I ate. It's fine. I am, what's the word? Cranky. But I think that's just Ky'veza. You're not you when you're fighting a difficult boss. You know what they say. Hardy Beldar's bounty. Have you tried hard drugs? Did this yesterday. Graphic settings should I use? High or low? So I would adjust your settings individually. The important ones, assuming your computer can run everything fine, is to turn anti-aliasing off. It's around your somewhere. Turn anti-aliasing to none. Make sure that you have outline mode up. And then make sure if you search outline, you also want to make sure you're using outline mode. So I just put it on everything. That helps like light them up in red before they charge. And then the other thing that I liked doing, just for me, you guys may or may not like this, but I actually cranked my gamma all the way up to 1.4. You'll notice my screen is kind of bright and a little washed out. And I found that especially with my streamlights, because I have some glare in my office just because of streaming. Your room might not be like this, but I found that made it easier for me to see everything, and it's not blowing anything out to the point that I can't see it. So I just put my brightness up like that. I return a second chance to watch your stream. Welcome back. One and I have to turn off the lights in my room.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Oh, I might have lost it.
AoE incoming.
No, we got it.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Officially the Ky'veza Goblin support group. Yeah, I agree with what Day is saying in regards to the item level question. She's more about execution than she's about raw damage. Have you ever died in this fight to anything that isn't a one-shot? Yes, actually. I had a couple of wipes. More so on the first day, but I have wiped just to her hitting me to death. There was one where Brain wasn't putting out any healing potions. I had already cycled all of my self-healing, my Desperate Prayer, and my Health Pot, my Vampiric Embrace, and she just slapped me to death outside of her one-shots, and I was quite upset about it.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Wonder how this fight is on, say, a BM Hunter. I wonder what your pet does for it, because I know that on Underpin, your pet was just, it would get one shot, and it made the fight functionally impossible. Have you ever had run to one of Brand's potions only to have it despawn once you get to it? Infuriating. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes he's not so helpful with that. Loving it as Fury Warrior, I suspect it being much harder as a caster. Flabby was curious about trying it after I mentioned that I was working on it. And it was it's kind of terrible of me, but I told him you should totally do it. Please don't start until I kill it. Please just give it a few days. I'm not ready for you to start 2 weeks later and then kill it first. I'm not emotionally well adjusted enough for that. You'll have a lot of fun. You should definitely do it. Just give it a little bit.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
That's nice. Sometimes they don't need you to move much.
Stay away from lines.
I was doing better at those yesterday. I am item level 715. Flabby's superhuman or something. I can't even hold things properly sometimes and drop them. I feel that in my soul. I occasionally, not every day, not enough to be a hazard, but I'll be holding on to something like cutlery You know, I'm putting away the dishes. I'm taking the forks and the spoons out of the dish rack to convey them to their home in the drawer. And I'll just stop holding onto it and it'll fly out of my hand. And Farrah's like, "Did you throw that?" And I'm like, "Not exactly." I didn't throw it. I just stopped holding it while my arm was in motion. It's not enough. The allocation of resources up here is not consistent.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming.
Yep, lost it. That's rough. I hope you have a tough case for the phone. Oh, nerve damage. Sometimes my spasms make me random through my phone. Gotta get one of those big, thick OtterBox looking things. Did that with a full glass of water yesterday. Just dropped it. Hand decided it didn't want to hold it anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad it's not just me. Phones are heavy. I mean, sometimes I think I just want to subconsciously throw the phone. How much is Espri's damage comes from the dots? Let me look at my details here. Here's my breakdown. My Vampiric Touch is here, doing 4.2% of my damage. And then my Shadowward Pain is down here doing 3.4, so 7.6% of my damage is from my dots. You could add in apparitions to that. Those don't take any extra work. But not much, basically. Not a whole lot. You can't just keep your dots on and hope that she's going to die eventually. You'll be doing this for a very long time. And if anything, my numbers might be a little outsized because I'm sure I'm not doing this particularly well. Hello? Hello, how's it going? Taking on a hard fight, I see. Hello. It's going okay. We're hanging in there. Yeah, I don't know what it's like for Afflocks. Maybe they would have a better time with it. I think melee is your best bet if you're kind of trying to fish for which class you would like to try this on, and you're equally proficient at a bunch of them.
Pulling in.
One thing I haven't done, I just grabbed a single target. I grabbed a single target Voidweaver spec off a Wowhead, and it's going fine.
Spirit
I have
incoming.
not really looked through it to see if there's anything that I specifically want for this.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
It seems like on a good pull, I get just shy of 20% off her in this first phase.
AOE incoming.
It's a real problem finding enough time to hard cast your cooldowns like your Dark Ascension and stuff.
Stay away from lines.
So there may be some benefit into speccing out of some of that stuff. I mean, if I'm doing 2.2 to 2.4 mil DPS, I could, like, mess with my buttons to try to get rid of some stuff. I mean, Divine Star's not going to help me, although it is not a hard cast. I could mess with my buttons to try to get rid of some stuff so I have less buttons to press. Make it even more passive. I don't know, it's pretty passive already. Void Weavers so that I can Void Torrent while moving, because otherwise there's big gaps where you can't really cast anything. I'm trying to use Void Weaver heavily in spaces where I need to be moving and casting. You could only press... Some people I've heard genuinely are using one button for this. My argument for not doing so on Priest is I feel like I, A, hopefully outperform one button, but B, need that micromanaging of when to hard cast versus not. I don't want it trying to cast a hard cast spell when I have to be moving. However, the secret third reason why I'm not using it is if I did it and it worked, I would cry. That would be very upsetting. And I don't want that, so I'm not gonna try it. I encourage you guys to. You go for it. You're stronger than me.
Stay away from lines.
Use the one button rotation for the mage tower and they all worked except for healer. Take that mental load, put in mechanics, but I was kidding. I think for melee it would get me pretty far. First time with one button, went back later to do it without. The lines are a one-shot. There's no soaking them. You have to dodge. You got to dodge, as he says. Our most helpful of friends. Yeah, I started using one button for Linux too. On my alts. I realized I don't care how to play a mage. I'm just gonna put this on a macro. Or not a macro, but the thing, you know. Another thing that I'm not doing that I could is I'm not blowing drums. I'm not using drums at all. I am using silver tempered potions. Those are cheap enough, relatively speaking, but
Stay away from lines.
until I'm like really not getting killed by that stuff anymore, there's no sense in me spending gold for drums. The recent nerf gives you a wider... Let me just put it on a thing. Hang on. Let's just get the article so you guys can just look at it. There we go. Here, I'll even make a command so we can have a button that you guys can pop. Command, add command. We'll just call it nerf. Firm. There you go. If anybody's asking, that's how you pop up the article. It'll tell you exactly what they did. Look at us. We're all forward thinking and junk. They nerfed it? Bear in mind, this is the nerfed
Stay away
version.
from lines.
It's definitely not a gimme.
Pulling in.
It's not like when they do raid nerfs and they do things that are like make it a pushover.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
$84. Not good.
AoE incoming. Stay away from lions.
How do you know which is real? It's the one that speaks at the beginning of the barrel phase. And then you have to follow it. Had 715 item level at the end of the command. I love housing in life and in WoW. Me too. Only gives a skin, not a mount, so I don't have to do it. It is a pretty cool skin. I'll say that's what got me. I kind of felt like that, and then I looked at it, and then I went, oh no, it's cool. I might actually use that. How'd the house things go this morning? Not too bad. We didn't commit to anything today. We just had someone out to take a look at it and kind of let us know what they thought and sort of quote us in some work that we could do to help it. Normal stuff.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
I might move a couple of my cooldowns around on different keybinds. I have to do the absolute hokey pokey to press my
Spirit
button and stuff.
incoming.
That is not what it's all about. That's the first clone I've missed in a while. Take a look at what? Oh, the drainage. It's not interesting or exciting. Now that we've got the sump pump up and working to stabilize the bleeding, I wanted to figure out why she's bleeding in the first place. Mana Skimmer, the only mount that does not change appearance when you phase dive. I did not know that. That's neat. Ky'veza? Boy. Hello, how you doing? I hope you're having a lovely day.
Stay away from lions.
I'm doing alright. I'm getting iced by these lines a lot. Nothing for it like practice, you know? I found that was helping me with the rest of it. I've done the clones
Spirit
enough times
incoming.
now. I mean, knock on wood, that the order of them is being handled by my subconscious, so I don't have to think about it so much. That's nice.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Better. That makes my eyes hurt because I don't like to blink during that. I'm feeling closer for eye drops. I may have put down
Stay
100
away
king
from
gold, but you
lions.
guys owe me 99 cents in saline solution.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. AOE incoming.
Just take a big blink before they get started.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Wrong one. I want to thank Selena Locke for a 30-month resub. 30 months already. How time flies. How are you, Hazel and chat? Thank you very much. I'm doing okay. I'm keeping it together. I also want to thank Dr. Warlock80 for the brand new sub a few minutes ago, and Look So Bad had one as well for 32 months. Appreciate it, guys. A little combo. Appreciate it. How much easier? A little bit. A little bit easier. They didn't change much. But it is the clone facing is a little bit more forgiving. You do have to do it though. Can the purple transmog drop be used now? Watch enough stream. It should work. I'm not sure why it isn't. That does sound frustrating. I don't have very good troubleshooting. That's true. Sometimes it does take a while. If it's tracking progress, I feel like it should be connected. I guess I don't know. We have enough buffs and stuff? Sure. Here's Shadow Form. That's another one.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
We have 63 tracked wipes. I don't know how long they have to be to count, though. One time a Twitch drop took over 24 hours to show up, and well... I have anti-aliasing turned off to help the red lines show. It's not really the red that's the problem for me. I'd say 70+% of my wipes are the floor lines. That's the part that I'm practicing. Feel that number is too low. I think so as well. I don't think it counts a wipe unless it lasts a certain amount of time. I don't know what that amount of time is. But I'm pretty sure a lot of my, like, first phase wipes aren't in there. I think I've died more than 100 times.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
That was 80%. That was a new first phase best for me. Oh, I lost it.
AOE incoming.
No. I'm gonna turn my stream light off for a bit. I think that's helping. I think that this will help my eyes feel a bit better. You could test it for science. I could. Fascinating how different players struggle with different mechanics. The clones are what kill me 90% of the time, but you've more or less got that sorted. Yeah, Hazel in the dark. We're not exactly winning any beauty contests today anyways, so we may as well save our eyeballs. See if I can get a tiny smidge of natural light without putting any extra glare on the screen. That's nice. My potatoes are cooked. What kind of potatoes are you making?
Stay away from
Potatoes.
lines.
Good.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Is that a euphemism? That would be a great euphemism. My potatoes are cooking. Russet sweet potatoes, Greek yogurt, hot sauce, bunch of veggies, leftover chicken. Tastes left. That makes me reminds me of when I'm pouring myself cereal and I'm like, oh look, it's kibble for people. I don't know, you ever see what some fancy pigs get to eat and you're like, that looks pretty good, you know? I'd eat those apples.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Got that arguably a bit early.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Yeah, I'm not looking for advice at this time. I appreciate that I'm probably not doing it right, but I want to play it for myself. I promise I will ask if I'm looking for tips. Yes, sir. You know, I never cracked one of those bad boys open to have a look at it. What if the mitochondria don't actually work that hard? They just have great marketing and PR. Never think about that.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
See, sometimes I'm frickin' Neo. And then sometimes I'm not. What's that all about?
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines. Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Oh, wrong one. Do you think young people still know who Neo is? Sure. I mean, I don't know any young people to ask. Watching WoW YouTuber this morning, and he's done Ky'veza in every class and put a tier list video of DPS classes. And Shadow Priest ranked in his pincushion tier. Oh. Ask my 1-year-old tomorrow if she knows who Neo is. Good, good. Report back. I mean, pincushions are cute. Sometimes they look like cute little tomatoes, you know? Those are nice. That's fun. Plus, if you're gonna make a pincushion yourself, you can make it look like anything that you really want to stab. Hedgehogs, yeah, that's good.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
I could have sworn that was the right one. I guess it was not. I just asked my 10-year-old and he said that clownfish. That's a good guess. This is double question mark. Movement burst was the problem. Everything damage sustained was good. Yeah. No, your movement's not great. I don't think you need faster movement than Feather to get out of anything. You just need to not be dumb, which is occasionally problematic for me. Finding Neo. Just a really ethically questionable series where somebody goes on Google Maps looking for Keanu Reeves' house.
Stay away from lines.
I really hope that
Pulling in.
you're really into mitochondria and you actually typed all that out and it's not just copy pasted from somewhere. I haven't read it yet, but I will as long as you wrote it. Whenever I see a block of text, I'm paranoid now. I'm like, what if robots?
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from
I
lions.
have not used my trinket effectively at all this run. Yeah, 86%. It shows. One good blink. Might have mistimed my
AoE
blink.
incoming.
No, we're fine.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
I did type it out. Notice the spelling error. Funnily enough, their being the powerhouse of the cell is the least interesting thing about them. Mitochondria have their own DNA that people always get from their mother and are one of the best indicators for evolution over a vast period of time. There is also a hypothesis. That's the one. Hundreds of millions of years ago, mitochondria used to be bacteria, and then small multicell organisms encapsulated them, began a symbiotic relationship. Plants and chloroplasts have a similar origin hypothesis. Fascinating. I'm not going to remember that in about 30 seconds. Which is also fascinating, but for different reasons. Biochemistry did research in protein folding. Wow. Checks out, checks out. No, I appreciate that. All I want in life now is to just see things that other people made. You know, human spirit, effort, creativity. I'm not too fussed on, like, what it is. I'm just so sick of bottom of the barrel, low effort generated garbage that I will take anything that someone cared about just because they cared about it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Drink protein shakes before the gym. How crazy is this current marketing trend of putting protein in everything? Tim Hortons wanted to sell me a protein coffee because it's just become really trendy to just jack the protein content to stuff. It's the latest buzzword. And it's really funny because they make things and they try to sell them and they sound very yucky. Alright, let's
Stay
have it.
away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Oh no, I got ahead of myself. I started thinking about the later ones before the first ones had even gone. She's taunting me. Protein socks soon. Thanks for all the videos on YouTube. Haven't caught you online on Twitch yet. Oh, thanks. If you're not supplementing with protein-infused protein to double your protein, what are you even doing? Protein coffee, pretty handy 1-cup solution to getting going in the morning. Far be it from me to dunk on protein coffee. If that's your jam, by all means. I'm glad your day has come. It sounds to me in my own body of two things that have their own unique ways of ruining my digestive system, like combining their powers. I asked to add protein to my steak. Take bioengineered foods filled with protein over foods filled with sugars and corn syrup. I mean, if we have to choose, but what about food that's just food? What happened to normal food? No, and nothing happened to it. It's just marketing trends. It's like when someone watches 4 videos on TikTok and they're like, wow, this thing is the new reality. It's not. It's just a thing. But like, oh man. Jam is also protein packed now. Congrats.
Stay away from
I'm sure
lions.
some people maybe need to eat more protein to reach their health goals.
Pulling
And
in.
some people probably don't.
Spirit incoming.
I suppose the part that I found funny is that if I'm at Tim Hortons, I'm not there for my health. They sell donuts.
Stay away from lines.
We're having fast food. We've already left that concern well behind. You know what I mean? Oh, she doesn't even have dots on her. That's embarrassing. Although,
Spirit incoming.
we're actually ahead. I must have had a really good opening.
Stay away from lines.
Either that or she's freaking out and doing different orders. I got her to 79 and I usually do that before the first phase, and I definitely didn't do the thing because I don't remember my big blink. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's just extra funny to me because I've been a pescatarian for a long time and I eat vegetarian most of the time just due to the cost of fish. So, and my whole life people have asked me, well, what do you do for protein? And I was like, I don't know. I eat like lentils or something. I haven't died yet. And maybe it's all going to catch up with me. You know, I'm going to turn 37 and someone's going to make me go to a doctor. It's going to fall out of the sky and talk to me. And they're going to be like, listen, you really should have been hitting those bars. Those protein bars. And because you failed to do so, you shall not crumble into dust when you would not have crumbled into dust otherwise. It's like, all right, you're right. They're all right. I don't know. I'm alive. I'm getting by. I'm doing as well as any of us are. Which is, yeah. There's only so far you can min-max your body. Yeah, beans or protein coffee. I do love me some chickpeas. Chickpeas in vegetarian chili is good stuff.
Stay
They
away
add a
from
really
lines.
nice flavor to it. I cook them forever in the Instant Pot to really make them soft. Because I don't like a chickpea that still has a whole lot of integrity. I need that chickpea to have forgotten where it came from. I need it to be assimilated into the soup.
Spirit incoming.
Oh no! I think I'm not paying a whole lot of attention. We've been live for about 2 hours. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back. Alrighty. I'm back. I don't know if this is going well today. Today might just be a practice day. That being will have career politician levels of integrity. Checked if I could buy meat alternatives to be healthier. If you're just looking at like a Beyond Burger, not only are they expensive, but they're also not healthy. They're crazy salty. If you want a meat alternative that'd be cheap and healthy, you get yourself some lentils, some chickpeas, legumes in general, and you can cook them up real nice. I love a good lentil curry. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can get like either pre-mixed curry spices or even curry paste is really good. I'm gonna make myself hungry. It's just like a rainy day. It's kind of like a gloomy mood. I'm fighting this and we're getting practice in, but it's not going great. One of those days, man. Let's see. Yeah, my feet are nice and warm. What did you have for lunch? Ramen. Made a ramen. Put an egg in it, so that's fancy. There's my protein.
Stay away from lines.
Although it's kind of a wash because I normally have an egg for breakfast, and I had cereal today and a banana.
Pulling in.
Oh no, I've wandered too far.
Spirit
I don't even know why I'm
incoming.
popping the potion. This one's... If this is the one, then it's just because the universe has a sense of being. There's no way. This has been a terrible start. She
Stay
doesn't even
away
have
from
dots on her.
lines.
Maybe I should bully her. Can't think of anything. I don't know her personally enough.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming.
Right back where she started.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
She does hurt me quite a
Spirit
bit.
incoming.
Part of my problem is that Brand's putting down potions very nicely, and I'm just kind of ignoring them because I'm busy.
Stay away from lines.
Oh no, that was the worst power infusion.
AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Yeah, 51%. Had a sub 20% wipe. Furthest I've ever got. Died by miscounting the charges. Do something else, come back with a clear head. I think today's just toast. I'm just having one of those days. They happen. You just do what you gotta do. It's funny to me every time Hazel's chat drifts ever so slightly into bodybuilding chat. Late night Hazel? Indeed. It's only afternoon for me. It's 3:05 in the afternoon. I don't want to make it seem like I'm terribly hard done by. It's a normal time to be like awake and doing things. Watching the barrel games convinced me I'm not going to try double question mark. Keep guessing, right? I keep blinking. I have to just relax, like follow it, but not too tensely or else I freak out and lose it. And it's a tricky balance to hit. It reminds me of trying to relax but focus my senses just enough to win at the stupid fishing minigame in Animal Crossing of all things. Hardest gaming I've ever done in my life.
Stay away
Sometimes
from
I do
lines.
pretty well at firing off my cooldowns often,
Pulling in.
and when you get nice windows to do them, and then like getting good use out of them, and sometimes really not so much. But all you can do is just keep pulling it. I've made my peace with the gold bosses that come from the repairs.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AoE incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. AoE incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. AoE incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Oh, that was 26%. That was, I think, today's best. Hazel almost after dark. Yeah, I turned off my stream light to help my eyes. They were stinging a little bit trying to hold open for the barrel game. We're getting cozy. Hi, Hazel. Hello. How you doing? I get it. Dracaress, thank you for the 17-month resub. Appreciate it. Heart starts pumping just watching. I was thinking about it while I was doing that. That's really the thing for me. It's not so much like that you don't know how to do it. It's learning how to either do it on a ton of adrenaline or doing it so many times that your body decides to not panic because it's seen it and it's gotten bored. So that's what it is for me, is just doing it enough to the point that I'm not freaking out anymore just because I've like overexposed to it, so that I have like my regular brain and not my panic brain to try to do it. And it gets extra hard in that last quarter because you know that if you can just hold it together, you'll have it. But that makes it, ironically, much harder to hold it together, is the experience I was having anyway. Just started playing the beta and I'm already missing weak auras. Oh no! Hopefully something that you feel comfier with over time. It is a big change though, for sure.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Limited edition Evening Hazel. Extra special occasion. Your chair disposition is downright comatose compared to me. I am wincing, squirming, shaking shoulders, twisting heads, and somehow making low-key mouth sounds the whole time. I've noticed that I pull a face whenever I am in a really gnarly pattern of the lines, but I'm kind of sort of doing it. I make a I can't believe I lived that face, and it's not worth it. I need to stop that, because it's not helping. There's like a tiny portion of my resources up here that's like, you know, it'd be funny, and hasn't considered that it's not that funny, and also that you're about to die. It's like, you know, it'd be really entertaining is if you actually killed this thing. Stop going, oh, wow, scary, but I don't know. It's that same face that you make whenever you like almost chop yourself when you're chopping stuff. Not that you should. You always use good knife control, but you know. It's the whole, that was close.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Too far.
Spirit incoming.
During one of my attempts, I found myself chewing on a loose sock. No idea how it got there. I like to imagine that you have a friendly dog that just saw that you were stressed and like stole one of your socks and then gave it to you, and you unthinkingly were like, yeah, thanks. Protein socks. Hi, Astra. I hope you're having a good day. Warm my fingies back up over here. Is it raining? Oh yeah. Big raining out there. It's kind of nice. I don't know if I'd seen Bran say that before. He's got the hot goss about Ky'veza.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. AOE incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
See, I died to white damage there. It can happen. You have to mismanage your defenses pretty well and also like ignore Brand's potions because you're busy thinking about other stuff, but it is possible. Which is kind of annoying. I wasn't even that deep in the fight. I was only 63%. It's not so much like her melees, but the Void Rift thing hurts a lot. I try to always fade that. The clones don't hurt that bad. It's warm enough to rain today rather than snow. The 20 centimeters that we got in 20 centimeters on Tuesday. That is quite a chunk. Disappearing rapidly. Can't complain about added protein and everything. Helps me hit targets as a vegetarian, doing bouldering and weightlifting. Nice. That and skier. So much skier. What is that? What is that? Sorry, let me ask that in a less accusatory tone. What is that? I've not heard of that thing before. Can you enlighten me? I don't know why I sounded so angry. These kids talking about things I don't understand. Oh, it's a Greek yogurt brand. Scandinavian yogurt. Icelandic yogurt. Alright, well, we gotta get to the bottom of where it's from now.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Maybe I should top down for those too.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Sometimes I feel like I've done really good damage, and then I check her health going into the
Spirit
transition,
incoming.
and it's the exact same as normal. Oh, I got that last one by sheer
Stay
luck.
away
I
from
was not
lions.
paying enough attention. Oh, that actually was a little bit better. That was about 5% better.
AOE incoming.
Where she started. Oh, oopsies. I didn't think I'd
Stay
play.
away from lions.
Nah, doesn't matter. Why not play in beta? Because playing this. I want to work on Ky'veza this season, and I know I'm not going to need plenty of time to do it. Scandinavian Greek yogurt, that's okay. Yeah, it reminds me of a Dark Souls fight, too. kind of reminding me of why I don't play Dark Souls anymore. I used to really enjoy them, but the main motivation for getting them into them in the first place was like an inferiority complex. I felt like I had something to prove. And I've gotten over that now, so there's not as much gas in the tank in terms of let's do the thing. Right now it's just because I've decided that I want the mount. And I've started, so it would be kind of embarrassing to give up.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Not as good that time.
AoE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
That's why I gave up an underpin. Hated that one. Like the top view angles. They're helping a little bit with the lines. Not wildly. I can't use them for the charging clones. I don't know why. That's so clean. Oh, shucks. Everything always goes great until you die. It's one of those fights where, you know, everything's fine until it's not. It's a very binary thing. It is kind of interesting to me that some parts
Stay
of
away
this
from lines.
are much more compatible with me than others.
Pulling in.
Some things are basically never a problem. Some things are almost never a problem. And then some things are frequently a problem when they don't seem that hard.
Spirit incoming.
I like the gnome priest combo. Thanks, me too. That's my main. She has bread on her back right now. Turn off my UI for shell game and face the red line. Yeah, I've heard of people doing it, especially for the barrel thing. Or barrel cups, shelves. Same deal. I have to remind myself to breathe sometimes. If you can't do it while you're breathing, you can't do it at all. Just air go in, air go out. I'm so mad about it. Give it a couple of seconds for Mindbender.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Oh, I'm so far.
Spirit incoming.
Oh, I forgot one. DBM still thinks I have 63 wipes. That can't possibly be true. I had 63 wipes like an hour ago. No one knows. It's weird. It is, because I haven't turned off DBM. Some add-ons I'm gonna miss more than others. This one on, this one off. Happy with that. As long as I can still get my dialogue UI. Should be fine.
Stay away
Did you
from
catch that
lines.
post that Ian wrote today? I liked it. I thought it was a really good way of laying it all out really clearly.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Find that. Watch his recent interviews, which were great. Is elf UI made by real elves? That's the best question I've heard all day. Here, I'll dump it in chat just in case anyone wants to read it but doesn't want to look for it. He's talking about dev philosophy behind the add-on disarmament. Dags are always what kills me. They get me a lot. And I think it's one of those things where I just have to get it into my muscle memory, but like, it's not getting in there all that in a big hurry. I spent probably 10k gold just today in repairs. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm down like 30k overall. But it's only wasted gold if you don't kill it, so.
Stay away from lines.
Okay, some pulls are a waste of gold. Doing gold world quests as we type. Nice. I think as long as I'm feeling it, I'm just gonna keep slamming this all week until it either falls over or I do. I don't see why not. I don't have any remix to do until next week.
Stay away from lines.
Oh, this is gonna be a hell of a run. Okay. We're just leaving now. Alright, that's fine. Sometimes Bran will jump, and sometimes Bran will not jump. And sometimes I manage to get my fade, and sometimes I don't.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
And sometimes I feel like I made it out, and I didn't. I just didn't. But I don't want to complain. I don't want to be like, oh man, looked good to me, because I'm sure it wasn't. But like, sometimes it does. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I want to just like pull up the VOD and be like, can I zoom in on this? It looked fine to me. Visual isn't accurate to the lane of damage. Yeah. I'm just not running in the right direction relative to where they're spawning. And then I'm correcting to make up for it sometimes, and I'm not managing to do that other times. But it's just something that I'm finding difficult.
Stay away from lions.
I forgot about my new resolution to pull with Mind Blast. Oh well.
Spirit incoming.
You've inspired me to make a gnome death. Don't stand there. This empty. I should fill it is what I should do. Beer back. Alright. Yeah, what do you name your new gnome Death Knight? Alright, we got our cheese buff. Got my repairs. And we turn this off and back on.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
That was a waste of a potion. How many? Hard to say. My DBM says 63, but it said 63 for a while. More than 100. Less than 1,000. I think probably 10 hours or so of pulling, if I count up the streams. Because 3 yesterday, almost 3 today, makes 6. And then maybe not quite 10, maybe more like 8 hours of pulling this.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away
Started
from
facing
lions.
Ky'veza because I was sick of not casting spells on her.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
No hope for me. Don't sell yourself short. I don't catch on real quick. I want to make more gnomes, but what I really want is Tinker's a Glass. After that many pulls, that's how I felt. Yeah, we don't have a lot of angst left to give. Don't get what killed you there. That's how I feel also, but I am not that interested in trying to litigate it whenever it feels unfair, because, like, what are we gonna do? Sue her? You just do it again.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
We should sue Ky'veza.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
I always do that with my mind bender. Oopsies.
AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
I'm not saying it's a problem, but sometimes my Void Rift doesn't help. You have to kind of extrapolate where the clean spaces are, not because you can see them, but because you can see the lines on either side of them, and you have to kind of fill in the blanks.
Spirit
That's fun.
incoming.
Gotta love that.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
I'm gonna get into the phase soon, so I kind of want to hold my cooldowns.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
I don't want to hold them too long. Also, sometimes you die. Yeah. I've tried that too, Fluffy Dude. Feel iffy and battered, I guess, because of the damage reduction. You have to toggle it off and back on. It doesn't reduce your damage at all as long as you do that. So in between pulls, you switch it off and then you put it back on, and that'll drop it. What does NT mean in this context? The only thing that comes to mind is neurotypical, which isn't really relevant here. Oh, nice try! Thanks. I'm 33, I've never seen that before. Best pull percentage was a 13
Stay away
yesterday.
from lines.
Pulling in.
We don't get very many of those, though. I could do this for an hour without getting half that close.
Spirit incoming.
Sometimes if you want to keep channeling your mind
Stay
play,
away from lines.
and you're confident that it is going to continue to register for your position, you can't actually move your character to update. You just have to kind of trust. Because I have been able to get away with that, and I feel like I need the damage. If I'm not getting at least like 20%, 18, 19% between
Spirit
phases, I'm going to have to
incoming.
do this a sixth time, and that's what we really don't want. I'm counting on Shadow Crash to make up the
Stay
difference,
away
but
from
that will only
lines.
go so far. Not Shadow Crash, Shadow or Death.
AOE incoming.
Oh no. I don't know how you live those lines. Sometimes I feel that way too. People usually say NTNT. I've never seen that. Okay, fine. I'll go try pulling this boss again. That's what I thought too. Does Bran use Lust? No. You can bring drums. Drums are a good idea. I'm just being cheap. I feel like I don't want to do drums unless I can consistently get it to kind of 20%. And I could have the drums, then I could pop them at 20%, but I feel like that's just going to freak me out more than anything. Oh. Yeah, it'd be a lot of drums. This is already expensive just with the repairs. I don't know if I need to put any extra expense on it. At least I realized you could repair this thing. For a while I was running outside. Would sending you 100 drums be insane?
Stay away from lines.
I wouldn't. Just for now. I'll purchase them myself if I feel the need arise. You got 13%. Yeah, but it happened once across, and it happened like 80 polls ago. I think it was more of a fluke than anything. Yeah, Bran using Lust would be too helpful. Maybe I'm just determined to be blue.
Stay away from lines.
I forgot my plan.
Pulling in.
On a really good pull, I've managed to get all my cooldowns plus a plague on my
Spirit
target before
incoming.
I void torrent during that first rift.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
I think Bran drops potions for that part. That's the part where I
Spirit
really need 'em.
incoming. Stay away from lines.
Sometimes I can't even see myself.
AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
See, that one I don't know if I agree with. 80 pulls ago sounds like Race to World First type stuff, right? That was questionable. Yeah, a line killed me, but... Right? Feels funny seeing it this time. Thanks for the validation, guys. What if my tiny little gnome body is not as big as my hitbox? I haven't tried transmorphing myself. I read some guide that said try to transmorph into a gnome so that you can see the floor better. Oh, stop doing
Stay
that.
away from lines.
I want to pull Mind Blast because I may as well cast one of the darn things.
Pulling in.
And I keep forgetting and pulling with Shadow Crash, which is an instant cast. Oh, dear.
Spirit incoming.
Sometimes, I'm going to tell you something embarrassing. Sometimes I use my Desperate Prayer to try to heal Bran.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Because, like, hunters can use, you know, they can step on his pots and delves to heal their pets. And in my damaged coconut, the logic holds true. Look, Bran's gonna
Spirit
die!
incoming.
And you know what? He deserves it. How does it feel, Bran?
Stay away from lines.
I'm fine, I'm just salty.
AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
That was weird. Sometimes it's weird. Although given that the weird things are happening when I've been here for 3 hours, maybe the weird things are just me malfunctioning and not the game. Like, I understand that if you get too low in health that she'll execute you. I don't really understand how I got there. I must have just taken a lot of damage from the white damage. Which I know can happen, but like, I didn't feel like I was that low. I must have been. Apparently paid for the carry in this fight. I was thinking while the cup game was going on, I was like, what is Bran even doing right now? He's not healing himself. He's not helping me figure out which one is the real one. Why is he here? Am I paying him for this? Alright, here we go. This one.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
That's one that I want. I don't even think it does that much extra damage. It just makes me feel better.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Maybe I turned too early. Every time I turn around, Bran is facing the wall like it's the Blair Witch Project. Oh. You know what I need to do for my last 15 minutes or so of pulling this today? I need to use my Bran Morpher so that we can both be Bran. Bran for me. This'll help. Mm-hmm. Didn't think I'd go there, did ya?
Stay away from lions.
Yeah, he can throw his own insults back at him when he dies. Teach Bran how to Bran better. It's not going great so far. Oh, that's the most Bran thing ever. Bran's greatest enemy is his own W key.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Sometimes I'm so practiced
away
at
from
the
lions.
clones that I feel like I'm in the code. Which makes it frustrating that I can't do the frickin' lines. That was the part I was least concerned about when I first learned about this fight and thought about doing it on this difficulty.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Teach me your ways and I'll teach you the lines, right? Just need to trade a little bit of gray matter. I feel like the clones are fully in my subconscious now. I'm not even really thinking about them. Also, I think the nerf helps, but the lines I'm thinking a lot about and it's not. Sometimes it's fine and a lot of times it's not. And I'm trying to like be moving when it starts and I've tried like running through her and I just get myself into trouble. Found a bit of gold. You'd think if he really found gold, he'd keep it to himself. Run away from the boss's line spawns. I've heard that, and I've been trying it, and I'm just not getting a lot of luck. And I'm also very aware that if I displace myself too much before the rifts, I don't have the movement speed to get back in time, and I have died to that before too, so I have to be thinking while I'm dodging about not putting myself way out on the edge, otherwise I won't make it back to my quadrant if Bran fricks me, which he does like to. I'm doing my best, it's just not coming together.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines. AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Wiped 200 times before I did it first week. Lines were the hardest part most wipes. Maybe it's because I'm so used to making melee DPS baked into the subconscious. Yeah, that could be it. I'm cold. Trying to warm up the fingies a little bit. Okay. We get our food buff. We did. We're gonna wrap up in another pull or two. But we'll try it again tomorrow. I have a better feeling about a morning stream at this. Assuming that I wake up on the right side of the bed.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Good DBS opener. Get it first try after sleeping. I kind of thought that was what was going to happen today because I got so close yesterday. That was my 13% wipe yesterday, but then today started out very badly. I still haven't gotten below that point today. I don't know why I'm just trying to bum everybody out. Maybe it's because I'm cranky, so I'm trying to drag all you guys down with me. That's not very nice. That's not a great quality in a streamer. Hello, Hazel. Hi, Jay Trinta. How you doing? Yeah, at least we got drops going on here. That's something. I am just about to wrap up for the day. You just caught the end of it. You're fine. Am I? My sub numbers aren't great. But that's my own fault. I need to be making more content. Did I repair my gear? I sure did. If I wanted to boost that up, I should probably just be playing beta and not doing
Stay
this. I
away
just
from
really
lines.
want to do this.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Oh, I lost her.
AoE incoming.
Oops. It's okay to be cranky. That's good. I think I'm about to be cranky whether it's okay or not. Yeah, I said I'd work on Ky'veza. I never said I would do it with grace and dignity. Like the first and second delve boss, but this one's just awful. So stuck on this boss. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit better. I am able to get her lower by the time I get to the first phase more reliably, but I'm still not reliably doing the lines. Which is...
Stay away from lions.
Sometimes they just don't move, and that's a problem too. I want one more good one before I go. Which is famous last words. It's how you do like 30 10-second wipes in a row, but... Make your dinner extra delicious. Oh man.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
When I came up with the different mechanics of this fight, they did not make them very close to each other in difficulty.
Spirit incoming.
Not that that was a requirement, but I think I'm just looking for something to complain about to make myself feel better. Not really working.
Stay away from lions. AoE incoming. Stay away from lions.
I wonder if they made that mechanic easy to give a bit of a mental break. Oh, maybe, yeah. Dinner better go make it. Peace, all be well. Have a good dinner. I really should put this down. I want a good pull.
Stay away from lions.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming.
Yeah. If you have some distance from these, they're a lot more freaking.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
I didn't even hit my trinket. I meant to hit my trinket.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Oh, that was terrible. That was like the highest health she's had going into this first transition yet. Did we do this
AoE
right?
incoming.
I almost lost it when I spun the camera around. That was dangerous.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Come on, Bran, help girl
Spirit
out.
incoming.
Thank you.
Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Yeah, we caught up.
AoE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
Pulling in.
Spirit incoming. Stay away from lines.
That was a better pull. That was a 41% wipe. I didn't like Giga see the line that killed me, but I think that'll do for today. We've been going for 3 hours and 13. We'll pick it up again tomorrow. Maybe morning is more my time. It'll be closer to when I've had the coffee, you know? So we'll come back and try that tomorrow morning. I should be on 9 in the morning Pacific time for Friday stream. In the meantime, thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate your company and your moral support. And I hope you're having a lovely week and a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.